Morning, everybody. It's 8:40 on this Friday, the 16th of August, and this is your pre-opening comment. It is video number 2224. Asia is higher. Big move in the Nikkei, 3%. And Europe is slightly higher. We had housing starts and permits this morning. Housing starts, a big disappointment, down 6.9% versus last month's up 1.1%. Permits down 4% versus last month's up almost 4%, 3.9. And the number of permits filed fell well below 1,396,000 versus last month's 1,454,000. So definitely seeing a slowdown there. And on top of that slowdown, of course, we see the bonds higher by 23/32, so about 3/4 of a point, and the dollar down a little. It's about unchanged on the week, but it is down 28 cents today. Also on the slowdown, we see the oil down almost $2. Nat gas down 3 cents, but still holding over 2.15. Heating oil is down a little over a nickel, and gasoline is down 4.5 cents. The gold is higher by $20. The silver is down by 11 cents. The oil has been a big influence on the entire complex. So, I'm watching that fairly closely because we have the, two different sides of the coin. We have a questionable demand picture, but we also have a raging war that could get worse. And generally, on a Friday, I'm always a little bit nervous because nothing good seems to happen over the weekends. Excuse me. Okay, so the gold, which has a high today of 25.19 and 70 cents, is bouncing up against that 25.22 all-time high. This would be yet another new weekly closing high again. So we've had basically 1, 2, 3. This would be the fourth week in a row. A little disturbed about the fact that the volume has gotten lighter every week on the way up, but we could have a hell of a short covering rally out of here. Other futures, grains continue to falter. Cattle, feeder cattle, live cattle, the cattle complex in general lower. Cotton coming back down again. Coffee about unchanged. Cocoa a little higher. Sugar a little higher. The S&P and the other stock futures at 7:30. The Dow was down 128 after the numbers came out. It is now down about 100. NASDAQ was down 13, currently down about 130. And the S&P, which was down 7, is now down 26. So things are getting a little bit worse on those numbers. Applied Material had earnings last night. They beat on revenue. They guided in line. Stock is 207, down almost 5 or 2.2%. Estee Lauder downgraded to neutral from buy at BFA, 93.5, down about $1.50. Coherent beat by a penny, beat on revenues, reported EPS in line, revenues in line, 73.50, that's up 220 or 3%. And Microchip Technology upgraded to overweight from neutral at Piper Sandler, 83.37, and that's up 207 or 2.6%. Yields were a little bit lower on the news on those economic numbers, but even though we were down fairly substantially in the 10-year and the 2-year, Yesterday we came in very hard on the inversion, closing the day out at about 17, which was up about 8 basis points. So that's a pretty big swing. I mean, it's an 80% swing. Down here it doesn't look anything like the 30, 40, 50, 60, even as high as $1 inversion, but it is still pretty volatile. Anyway, that's about it, folks. Have a good weekend, and I'll be back Monday.